Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I've got a review of the Asda 2025 animated Reaper. Let's get started. So this was sold initially at Home Depot for 2021, and this features two movements, which is the one and only reason why I bought this guy. As you know, as you know, the only reason why I buy props is because of movement. I have no interest in collecting statics. That's why when something breaks, I'm immediately fixing it because it's useless to me if it doesn't have motion. And this guy has two animations, which I love to see for a £35 free foot. And that's the price of it, £35. I'm not sure whether it's going to be in the store or not because the box isn't fully, it's not full print. Even if it does say that there's a little over 1,000 produced of this. I'm not sure whether it's going to be in store or not. With that number, you would have thought it would be, but you never know. So, he actually does come with a scythe. I've got it in storage right now, because otherwise he doesn't fit into the area of my horn. As you can see in his left hand, from his angle, there's a hole in that hand where he's supposed to be holding a scythe, but like I said, doesn't fit. So the arms move. The arms move in a way similar fashion to a Sunstar one, and the mouth moves. Unfortunately, the phrases on this guy are overused, and he only has one phrase which he repeats twice on sensor mode. And like usual pack props, he has an extended phrase which I find to be so gimmicky. It makes zero sense why they do that. For example, the 3-foot doll from last year, not the Morrison's one, but the Asda one. That one, it had an extended phrase which just ruins the whole thing. So, it already takes a long time to swivel the head even on demo mode. It takes 6 seconds. And when you put it on sensor, it takes 16 seconds for the head to turn. Let me tell you, people are long gone before the head switches on that. And not to mention it has this bad sound sensor, so it's probably not going to even activate in the first place. Whereas the Morrison's one, it takes, I want to say, on average, 5 seconds for the head to turn. And it also has a sound sensor and motion sensor. So you're clearly getting the better one from Morrison's there. And it's a jump scare and it's going to catch people off guard. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. So this guy, he's got a bit of some reused things in it. This whole body shell and sculpt mechanism for the head. It's all been used before. As I mentioned, this was sold in Home Depot in 2021 as one of their many 3-foots. Gosh, Home Depot gets in so many. They have loads. They're all pack twos, which is, yeah, we'll get onto that in a minute. But this was also turned into a pirate by the Halloween store. Well, not they didn't do it, but they did it as a wholesale thing, and it's also available this year. Funnily enough, I was looking at that listing and I was like, should I do it? Because I really liked the mouth movement and the arms. I eventually decided against it though, and thank God I did, because Asda's brought out one that's identical pretty much, just with a Reaper look. Let's talk about the quality. As you might know, Pack does really good cosmetics quality. All that is excellent, but the mechanical quality is just never that good. And yeah, so the Reaper, for example, we'll just use that as that Reaper there. He's got good mechanical quality. All the parts are nice and thick when you open it up, but the wings, they just fall apart, and the creepy cloth, it all just falls apart really fast. And so that's the problem with Aroma stuff. But whereas this Reaper, he has a really nice firm fabric that has just a standard creepy cloth, but it's actually sewed well at the edges, as you can see on his hood. So it's not going to fray and things. And then underneath it's backed by a tarp sort of thing, which gives me hope that it could be waterproof, but I wouldn't test it. And then it has your standard body shell, which has obviously been used to death, which is how they managed to make it. That's how they managed to make it keep the price down and also have a nice firm body shell. However, when you actually take a look at the head, the arms mechanism, you'll see it's really thin, and you could probably really damage it if you push the arms outwards by force or something. So you probably wouldn't have this at the back or something. I just wouldn't trust it. And the electronic quality on this is also pretty bad. It's not getting adequate power. It's not like sharing the power properly. Which if you'll notice when it activates, that the eyes will blink when the mouth opens. You might think that's a feature, but it's not. What's happening there is when the mouth opens, it's using power, which is being split at that point between the audio, the arms, and the eyes. When the mouth opens, that's using more power, which makes the eyes dim because it's now having to split power temporarily, and it makes the arms wobble around a bit. They already do that naturally because they've got like posing wire in them, and like the end sculpts are there at the end, but you'll just see that it kind of just. I'm the only one who's going to notice that. Everyone else is going to think it's a feature or not notice it at all because it's quite a subtle dim, but it's enough that I notice it and get frustrated at it. And when I did the repair of the 3-foot witch, the dancing witch, which also has 2 motions, and you're probably wondering, why didn't I get that? It's because it's goofy. Like, it's rocking around and singing and dancing, like, drink my magic potion. It's just not for me. I'd rather have something a bit more serious. Anyway, back to what I was saying. The 3-foot dancing witch, on the main board itself, it has 1 slot on, like, let's just say, on the right side, and that slot just says motor, and that's positive. No, that's negative. And then they have 2 other ports just to the next of it. One says M1, and then the other one says M2. And if you realise you can't have 3 ports for 2 motors, that's not possible. So what they do is the negative wire goes into that first port I mentioned, while the other 2 go into this one bit. So it's sharing current. So that's why it dims, because it's trying to split all this power in this one bit of the board. Which just is, I can understand for LED eyes, but for motors, really, like, other companies don't do that. Obviously, the pop-up zombie from the range in 2019, they had a variant of that where the upper body pops up and the head turns. That port is still on the board, and it's probably programmed, but I'm not here to test it. It has 3 ports total, which means it could probably be used quite widely, but they're all separate. It's sets of 2 for each motor. So Aroma, this is what I mean when Aroma does good mechanical quality and electrical quality most of the time. Obviously, I literally have no issues with Aroma when it's not the pop-up. And even then, they know how to fix it. Like, the Sunstar Jumping Spider has a way thickened ratchet, and I'm having no issues with that at all. Yes, as I was saying, Pack, they just don't do electronic quality well. And this is why I was a bit sceptical to get this guy. You might know that I own the Rise Up Reaper, and I'm not really too scared of that, because it's a different grade. It's a completely different type of prop. If you think about it, this is a battery-powered, this is a little battery-powered thing where the arms move. On the Costco Rise Up Reaper, it's got a power supply, it's got a full waterproof box, like rubber sealed over absolutely everything, and it's designed to be outside. And it's got a nice beefy mechanism that I'm sure is going to last a long time. Whereas this is plastic. Obviously you can't blame them, because when this was first made by Home Depot, they were just like, we just want a cheap 3-foot, please. And they were like, yep, can do. It has a little chain there. I really like that detail. It's awesome. And the head, it looks nice. Obviously, it's reused. As I was saying about the audio, it plays in a loop of 2 on demo mode. It just plays once, and then on full mode, it just says it twice. And if you don't know, this phrase is used all the time on the hanging reapers that Asda sells, which is back for this year, and Wilco sold it a few years back too. And it says, "Welcome, don't be afraid, then laughs." And they really couldn't just make another phrase, so it just says the same phrase twice, which sucks, and it's also overused. Like, luckily, you don't really notice it on the actual thing, but if you're a trick-or-treater, but me, I notice it. There's quite a few things on this that I notice. Anyway, that's enough of me talking. I've literally rambled for 10 minutes at this point. I don't think I... Yeah, this is why I switched from no nonsense reviews to tech reviews, because I'm just so bad at it, and I just want to talk about all the prop details that I find interesting. Anyway, let's do this. I think the Morrison's gonna go off when I do this, but yeah. Let's try that again. My Exo Clown and Jumping Spider went off. Let's do it one more time, then we're going to give some final thoughts. As you saw there, the sound sensor is pretty good. It's not as good as the Samsung Jumping Spider, which is by far one of the best sound sensors I've ever seen on a prop. That and the XO Clown. The XO Clown sound sensor is incredible. I don't know how it does it, but the sound sensor is not very good. A motion sensor would be nice. Obviously, it's better than the 3-foot Asda doll that we had last year. That one was awful. Anyway, yeah, this one's a lot better. I have added volume control to this because I can't tell whether I want it on mute on Halloween or full volume. That's full volume, by the way. It's quite quiet. So yeah, on Halloween this is going to be like awesome filler. This will just go sit somewhere in the graveyard section or on the path up. I'm going to have to move to another location this year because the people I did Halloween with last year have moved away, so that's a bit unfortunate because that was a really good year. We had lots of people to see the stuff. Unlike 2023, where I saw nobody. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Now I'm going to show you a head size comparison with this guy and the Rise Up Reaper. Gosh, every time I see this head, I'm just like, wow. Anyway, let me just approach this from a different angle. That way, Jumping Spider. That's the Rise Up Reaper's head. It's obviously huge. Yeah, it's massive. So as you can see, there's a considerable difference. Considerable. But, yeah. Obviously, they both have mouth movement. But the plastic on his head's a bit better. Because every time you move the mouth on the Rise Up Reaper's head, it just makes this awful noise. The whole thing makes that noise. This guy is pretty quiet. Before I finish up the review, I'm going to show the arms mechanism. You don't actually have to take the mechanism apart. Oh, off he goes. But yeah, actually has custom. Yeah, has feet. He doesn't have boots, which is really nice. Alright. While we're back, here is the body shell. Stapled legs, which is sad, but he has a box anyway, so I'm not too concerned about that. Yeah, you can unplug the head if you really wish. Here's the volume control knob I added. And there's the battery cover. On-off demo. And there's the mechanism. Let's turn it on. Alright, that's the mechanism. I don't want this video to be too long, but real quick, Asda also made a clown, which I have no clue what it does. It looks like it's holding a banner. I can't tell whether it's a bag or banner, but so far I'm leaning towards banner, so I'm very interested to see what it does. I'm speculating that it could have the same animation, or it could have, because Pack also does this variant of the Reaper, where the head has like this head and arms mechanism where the head swivels around and the arms move, so I wonder if that's what the clown could do. Best case scenario, the head would drop down, in which case I'd probably return this guy to get the clown. That would be super cool. But right now, I prefer this guy. He just looks way better. Anyway, everyone, thanks for watching. This was the review of the Asda 2025 Reaper. Do I recommend it? Heck yes. I don't know why people are saying that it's not good value at all, because it bloody well is, and the world's better than the shitty Morrison's one that has a Transylvanian accent. I'd take non-reused phrases over a Transylvanian accent on a Reaper any day. Anyway, goodbye.